Oh, yikes. Yeah, what's up guys? Welcome to the Warcraft replay here. This was cast right after the WC3 versus Happy one. Apologies if that cast I felt really out of it. Yeah, I actually didn't really feel that great in the last, I think, 20 minutes, so to hopefully compensate for that, I will cast another one straight away. This is going to be a rather short one, mainly because, yeah, long ones really kill me a lot, and hopefully I didn't sound too strange during that cast. Yeah, normally I drink like coffee or energy drinks or something like that during casts, but good god, I really should have during that one.
Ready to work.
But anyway, we have Fly spawning in as the... Uh-oh, I forgot to change this. One moment, this should be... should be quick. There we go. Yeah, Fly spawning in as the blue orc player on the top right, and Yumiko spawning in as the red human player on the bottom left. Haven't had Yumiko in quite some time, I'm not sure what his story is, to be honest. But yeah, this is going to be him. And Fly, I don't actually recognize the alias, but the website does say it's him, so hey, what you gonna do? We are gonna have Blademaster first versus, I believe, Archmage first, so yeah, talk about Classic. It's been a while since we had this matchup, to be honest, and it has been a while since we've had, yeah, just normal pre 1.29 changes. But obviously the patch is still 1.30.4, so yeah, there is that. Honestly, the particular patch on 1.30 hasn't really affected these two races all too much because it's all been about Night Elves, to be honest, so yeah, it's refreshing at least, which is very weird to say because back in the day, this was just the bread and butter, the cookie cutter standard openings here for both sides. Map is on Twisted Meadows yet again, but if you haven't noticed, the game this time is significantly less of a challenge, at least for me when it comes to casting. Both sides, I don't think they've actually spotted each other's bases yet, but they do have a slight idea on where they are. Never mind, scratch that. Yumiko definitely knows where his opponent is. Fly on the other hand, I believe he's already scouted this place out, so it's either here or here. He did see the elemental coming from this direction on the bottom right, so I'm not sure if he's 100% certain on his opponent's location there, but yeah, here comes the Archmage, and some harassment might be coming through here. Overseer probably should just get taken out by the Blademaster. There's really not an easy way for the Archmage to get the killing blow. But obviously the downside is that the Blademaster would be low for the majority of the early game, which I guess he doesn't really want happening for himself. So instead he is just going to be chasing away the Archmage to the best of his ability, obviously, but that is not going to happen. Blademaster is going to be able to secure the Null Overseer for himself and pick up a second circlet of mobility. The first one obviously was picked up from the Goblin shop when he sold his TP scroll. And yeah, it's fairly good for himself. Archmage, I believe, still without experience. He does pick up a dust and as well as a pair of boots for his horses, or his horse. Tier 2 for Fly and Tier 2 for Yumiko, which apparently is going to be completed very soon. So yeah, orc matchups tend to be where humans go Tier 2 first rather than expand first because of just the dangers that the Blademaster poses early on. But with a big map like Twisted Meadows, I was honestly expecting maybe Yumiko playing a lot more brazenly, but that is not going to be the case. And of course, with this very, very unorthodox harassment first start here from Yumiko, he's not actually taking advantage of the good sides that humans has, which are the militia. Not really taking advantage of that. not really taking advantage of this quick rock golem camp that could drop a level 6 item. But yeah, that is what Yumiko chose to do. He is just going to be playing a very, very subpar Death Knight, which kind of reminds me of that. Elemental is going to get given over to the Blade Master, as the Overseer might get picked up once again by the Blade Master here, as Crit Strike is going to secure that. He secured the item. I didn't actually notice if the experience bar moved. Oh, never mind. Yeah, he did secure that. Archmage is still without experience, which, Yumiko, this is not looking like a good start for you. He is rushing to that double spellcasters here, priests and sorceresses, but Archmage without levels is kind of a red flag, to be honest. This does seem to be looming towards the part where the Blade Master might just be unchallenged. Tier 2 completed, and we are having the Bestiary Spirit Torrent Totem. I almost said Spirit Totem for some reason. Spirit Totem might actually make sense. Spirit Lodge, but the walkers moved over to the totem. I mean, it's understandable why I got that mixed up, okay? But either way, Shadowhunter is going to be popping out as the second hero here. Meanwhile, Yumiko is not looking towards the second hero just quite yet. Oh, never mind. Yeah, never mind. Mountain King already trained up here for Yumiko. The Shadowhunter still says his lines a second time, which might actually just be because of my game files being a little corrupted or weird. I don't actually know if that if this is a widespread cause, but it's always weird to hear him say his lines twice, and it doesn't even like complete his lines twice. It like goes halfway and then cuts and then repeats, but then it stops when it got cut, which is like, yeah, it's very weird. Either way, Raider Spirit Walker comp here for Fly, as we are going to have the Shadowhunter rewarded with a Tome of Experience, which is nice. It's definitely rubbing the salt in Yumiko's wound here, because he did have an extremely slow start with his creep camp. Stormbolt is gonna try and keep the Blade Master in his tracks, prevent the Blade Master from stealing the Overseer. Mountain King with Boost of Speed is going to be able to catch up to the Blade Master once again, but Dust is going to disappear. We do have a second set of Dust, but yeah, does the Mountain King have a second hammer to throw? He does, but Dust did wear off, and not entirely certain on the location of the Blade Master. We do have a couple of footmen being sent over under the veil of invisibility. I would assume as scouts, but I wouldn't rule the fact that they could be just sacrificial lambs. Shadowhunter will be able to reach that level 3 after this rock golem camp. Needs to be really careful not to get spotted by the Mountain King, because one good Stormbolt and that is probably just an easy level 3 hero killed there. Obviously it is in the vision of Yumiko because of that footman, but yeah, Yumiko not actually biting the bait right now. The second footman is currently MIA. I actually have no idea where he is, so yeah, yay for spectator mode, I guess. TP Scroll is going to be channeled by the Archmage. We do have the first instances of a Spellbreaker, so that looks reassuring. Yumiko is definitely not behind in terms of army comps. It's just that his heroes do seem a little weak, and that's definitely not what you want versus an Orc player who has double level 3 heroes. So level 3 versus a level 2 level 2. Code Beast number 1 is out and not jumping towards tier 3 just yet. Both sides are stockpiling on quite a bit of resources. Yumiko has a lot of lumber as well. So this could be an expansion attempt.
We're under attack!
Not too certain on that. Stormbolt is going to be taking out that Blade Master. It seems like he was able to steal a Talisman Evasion for himself, so thank you very much on that one. As the Archmage did get a Bloodlust for his troubles thanks to the Spellbreaker there. He is huge. Windwalk is gonna wear out. Oh, there he is. Is he gonna eat a Stormbolt? Not quite. He is gonna eat a yellow bird from the Sorceress. But that seems to be pretty much it. Slow is gonna get cast onto the Blade Master, but because he is a hero, debuffs do last significantly less than his normal units. Here comes the couple of units that Flight does have. Iron Supply is 58 for Yumiko, 59 for Fly. So far it looks pretty even.
Ready to ride.
So let's see how this actually pans out here. Slows are obviously going to be a massive detriment for the Orc army. Let's see how much mana is going to be used for Spirit Link versus Disenchants. You can see there are lots of misprocs actually happening onto the Blade Master. That is the power of the Talisman of Evasion. We are going to have a couple of militia being brought over to try and soak up some damage as well, as the Spellbreakers not really stealing that many Spirit Links. That is because not many Spirit Links have been cast, to be honest. Mountain King taking quite a bit of damage here, is going to pop that Invuln. Blade Master on the other hand, no mana for a Windwalk and no Invuln whatsoever, so he needs to be extremely careful not to get picked off there. Iron Supply is still pretty similar. There we go with another Spirit Link there for the blue side, which will be eventually stolen by the Spirit Wolf, the Spellbreakers. As, we did have a bit of a freeze, but that is just that. Yumiko slightly getting pushed back a little bit. Most of the Spellbreakers are in dire situations. Most of them are just getting picked off thanks to the ensnare of the Raiders. Blade Master needs to be careful not to lose his Blade Master there. That is, I believe, most of the Spellbreakers down. No, we still have 3, but this is kind of looking like a steamroll here, as it seems like it was a steamroll. Yumiko is going to GG out, as that is going to be that. Bit of a weird one. I think it just came down to Yumiko's failure of an early game with his Archmage. That's all I could really point to it, really. Army comps definitely don't look that bad for both sides. It's just, yeah, the heroes weren't too impactful for the human side. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Apologies for the previous video, and I'll see you guys again whenever.